As the tropical storm Erica fade, our hearts go out to all those in Dominica and others who were affected. Luckily, all we had to endure was some rain that weekend. We made the best of it, collected a lot of good rainwater, and gave our boat a nice scrub. And when the rain finally stopped, it was time to get back to work. We made the decision to remove the seized discharge through hole from our old head. Because we will be installing a composting head, we figured there was no point having an extra hole in the boat. We ground down the hole to a smooth, tapered surface and glassed over it. We also took this opportunity to investigate and fiberglass over a couple other damaged areas. We covered the section before it started to rain and allowed the epoxy to cure. The next day, we ground down the high spots and applied a first fairing coat over the areas. Our next project was to grind out the front of the keel to analyze some previous repair done to it. We were a bit disappointed when we realized a few other damages that were left out by the surveyor. What bothered us about this isn't the repair themselves, but the lack of information from the surveyor when he looked over the boat. There were several places around the keel showing signs of stress cracking from impact. So out came the grinder once more. The more we ground, the more delamination we found. Delamination is when individual layers of fiberglass are separated from one another, causing the once solid matrix to split into two or more layers, which causes them to lose their strength. The solution is to ground out all the damaged areas and start from scratch. Since our threshold for fiberglass repair was set quite high from previously reglassing the floors, this repair seemed quite simple in comparison. It also gave us more confidence knowing that the job was done right this time. By the way, that's me sending in the background, but we'll get to that in a minute.
let the ashes fall. Forget about me, I won't let it go. Just let it be. Why will you be you and I be me? Yeah,
When all the new layers of glass had set, we ground down the edges and faired out the repairs to match the original hull contours the best we could. Meanwhile, the sanding continued, sanding off the last little bit of bottom paint. So close, yet so far away. You know when they say the last mile is always the hardest? That's exactly how I felt. But I had to keep going, 1 inch at a time. We could finally check that one off our list. So I'm finally done with the toughest part of the hull. Basically finished the entire starboard side now, and the port side is already done. I only have my last little piece is this little guy. The last little bit, and a little bit more here, but it was time to move on to the last hull repair on the list before we can start prepping for paint. We ground out the joint between the lead keel and the fiberglass hull. The old bedding compound have been badly damaged from previous freezing winters up north. After grinding and chipping and picking all the loose bits out, we were relieved to see that the remaining bedding was still intact, and the 12 keel bolts unexposed, which is good news for us. So we blew out all the dust with a shop vac and began prepping to reseal the gap. We decided to use Sikaflex 291 to reseal the joint, although many recommended 3M 5200, but we felt that the 5200 was too strong and adhesive for the job. If this repair doesn't hold up, we will have to drop our keel sometime in the future, and we dreaded trying to have to grind out the 5200. Sikaflex is also more flexible, so hopefully the crack won't reappear anytime soon. And just like that, the last repair was done. The hull was now ready to be prepped for paint.
Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in this week. We really appreciate all of the views and support and likes and comments we've been getting. We love you guys. You're awesome.
And we're supposed to be moved sometime this week or next week so that we can actually find water, because we're so far back in the boatyard that we have absolutely no access to water, which sucks.
Makes washing our boat hard.
Yes, we can't clean our hull like this. We've tried to collect enough rainwater, but that's not going to help. We also buried a new treasure for you, so make sure you go on our website. Either click on the link right here, or for those of you who are on a tablet or cell phone and can't click on the link, just go to the description of the video and you find the link there. Hope you find it. It's a little harder this time, so make sure you look. Make sure you put binoculars or something. And
Make sure you gotta use spyglasses. Search for the buried treasure.
Look.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in and see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers. That was pretty good.